New video, and today's video is one you will be waiting for. We're gonna do loads of work on the bunker, try and get that finished off. Let's get down the well. Now the other thing is, the bottom of the well is now pretty well dry. So that means we can go down there at the end of the episode and have a look down there. But let's carry on. Let's go in the bunker, hook the tool on, onto the chimney. Let's go down the other end now. Then we get to the door. And into the room we go. So if we go up here to the staircase, so we've got all the granite steps, if you remember, I lifted in, going all the way to the top. And then we get the top step, we've got the screed, insulation, and the beam and block floor. Obviously that doesn't look very good, and the step needs to be here, and we've got a door frame here. So my idea is to get some slate out here with some bits that stick up and round to finish this. So I want to join at the door, so when the door's shut you don't see the underground area. Obviously I could have had one of these slabs here, but that would have been obvious that's a staircase down here. Does that make sense? Because I want this just to be a broom cupboard when it's finished, because there's going to be a lift here that comes across here and up there. So when you open the door, it all looks flat. So where do I get a piece of slate from? I think we go to England's last working slate mine. It looks here, there's a bit of a path here. Should be able to drive the Jeep up. So let's get going. Ooh, that tight squeeze to get in the Jeep. Next stop, the Lake District. Still need to do something about my tunnel dirt as well, don't I? I need to put that somewhere. And here we are. Let's go mining. Right, this is Nash. We've got our helmets. He's going to take me in the mine. We're going to drive that Jeep in the mine now. Let's go. So we set off driving all the way up the mountain. As you can see here, it's a long way up. Drive all the way up. The old Jeep managing to just about climb up this hill all the way to the mine, which I'm very excited about. We made it up the mountain. And now look, we're going in the tunnel, but this is a bit bigger than my tunnel. Have a look at this. We're going to actually drive in the tunnel. I've got my mining hat on, look. I've got a light. We're going to go in the tunnel. Hopefully you'll be able to see. In we go. So as we drive in, I genuinely have no idea what to expect here. You know, I get in here and the size of the opening is unbelievable. But obviously they take the big dumper truck in here and the 25-ton digger and everything, so it's like... So we're going down some steep hills now. I didn't expect this. Hope we can get back up. And then the last corner we turn here, this is the bit they're actually mining out where we need to blow up a section. Just look at the size of this mine. It's absolutely awesome. They're putting some explosives there and we're gonna blow a section out. So hopefully we don't break this camera. So the explosives are set. We need to get out of here now. And I'll go and press the button and we'll blow this area up.
We're testing for an ohm reading, so we're testing the resistance of our cable from here to our detonators. Wind it, wind it, wind it. Keep pressing the button and keep winding.
That was a bigger explosion than I thought it was going to be. So to let all the dust settle, we decided to drive out the mine and drive up the top of the hill so we can get a view of the top of the mountain where we are. So a bit of a drive out in the Jeep to the very peak. So we're going in another mine now, but look at this. It's got the railway tracks. I think my tunnel car would have fitted on these. So down this tunnel here, railway tracks again, look. So what I can see here, the one thing this mine is missing is a proper train. All them railway tracks there, look. And you're into this big opening, look. Look at this little cutout for your head here. I help them out and build a bit of a train for this mine, because I think I can make him a really cool train and we do train rides in here. Corner, points. These are all the things we need on my tunnel. Railway tracks finished there, look, the points. So look at the angle of that and how far up that goes. That is going right up as far as I can see. So the dust settled. We've also brought this digger in now. because there's no way this is going to fit in the Jeep or I'm going to be able to move it. Because this is one serious lump of rock. So let's get the digger going and get it down the bottom. Now we've got this, but I think at £4,500, it's slightly out of my price bracket. Can't really buy that to the wife. I don't know if she'd like it anyway. So we've got all these fonts here, and it says here, a few choices. Now, Comic Sans, there's no way we're using that after the abuse I've got for using Comic Sans. It cuts really well out of metal, but no way. So, what else have we got? Oh, that's more like it. Okay, you can't criticise too much. Let's get this cut. It's like we're a CNC cutter. And here in it comes. As you can see, that was a bit heavy from a Jeep. We had to call in the big boys. As good as I'm making this video, we can all tell that is not the same piece of rock as the one in the mine. We didn't have time to wait for the dumper to bring it down, so we have had to use one in mined earlier, but don't hate me too much. I'm just trying to show you how it all works here. Look at that for a cut. So we've got a piece of slate now, down to roughly the size we need. We've got this smaller machine now. Small cuts we need to do to make it the right size. This stone up now, looking good. The sticker here is with the writing we want to put in. Put that on and sandblast it. So you put the sticker on and basically sandblast the bit that hasn't got the sticker on. That's in the sandblaster now. Which actually erodes all the slate away massively, look. And then you just spray it with a white spray can so it enhances the letters. And then we just chamfer the top edge for the step edge. Okay, we've got a slate. Let's go home, get it fitted. Long journey home. So today's sponsor is Jackery. It's time to put this device through its paces properly. Last episode, we showed it in my van conversion, boiling a kettle. This is hard work without being able to see the steps you're walking on, by the way. Boiling a kettle, running a fridge. New Jackery, 3 times the size. 3 times the size kettle. That's a 3 kilowatt kettle officially. It's working absolutely perfect. Also, as backup power down the bunker, running the air fryer. So 1, max criff, go. And then on 2, we'll do a bake on 2, shall we start? So, total power output, 2,400 watt, look at that. No problem, you don't even know it's doing it. If we've got no power on the grid, this will keep us going from now on. The idea is to wire this straight into the box here, changeover switch, so we can just go on emergency backup power. That's the cooking side of things sorted for in here. We just need to get the solar panels next. And now it's time for the ultimate test, which we've all been desperate to see. Can this run a welder and weld some decent sized plate? Let's give it a try. Get that in, power on, AC on. This output is 3,600 watt. So let's try it now. 2mm plate here. I think we'll take that, won't we? 4mm plate now. What do you reckon to that? 4mm plate. So we're struggling a little bit on 6mm. We'll check the current in a sec. Let's carry on. Okay, I can see why we're struggling. We're running at 4,800 watts, and this is a 3,600 watt unit. So its sweet spot is about 4mm plate. It will do 6, but realistically it was running up to the 4,800 watt, which is obviously it can only do on peak power. 4mm plate, it'll weld happily for an hour. The output was about maximum on the 4mm, so 1 hour of running that welder solid. That's pretty impressive. So obviously if you want to keep it charged, you've got the 1,000 watt inlet there of solar maximum, and you can also charge it when you get back to base 240 on a quick charge, 1.8 hours. If you want one of these Jackery units, code Dave5 gets you 5% off. Link in the description. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. So we were really busy last week down here. Heath was fitting the toilet. I've been starting the tile in here. We can continue from now on. I need to cut all the ones in there. We've done the bathroom to start off with, so we can get the toilet fitted, sinks in, look, and the Saniflo unit at the back. So we are at this important point now. We need to turn that on. We need a screwdriver. Where are we going to get a screwdriver from? Chisel. That'll do, won't it? So this is a big moment. We're going to turn this on. Let's take this top off. I made this top out of stainless. The second-hand toilet didn't come with a top, so I've made that. We like a bit of stainless. I also made these stainless brackets here, look. They hold the sink up, and they sort of match the ones that came with the toilet. Thought I'd make them match a bit. 4mm stainless. Okay, so now we'll put new bits in the toilet. Chisel engaged. Obviously we have not connected the waste up. Do you like my taps? Decided some outside taps there. That comes down here. We're putting a cupboard around this, so that'll be hidden. Thought these outside taps would be handy if we do some sort of experiment down here or something, or need a hose pipe or whatever. You get a bucket under there. So it's a Belfast sink, but it is a smaller version because a full size would have been too big in here. The water's still rising. So Saniflo unit on. That's on. See, we are still dry as a bone in here. This is the experiment. So let's do it. Are you ready? Okay. So you can see my hand down the toilet. That wasn't quite as good as I thought it was going to be. Let's try again. I think we've got a little bit of teething problems here with something. Oh yes. Was it a double tap? I've no idea what's going off here. I'm gonna have to have a look at this. But anyway, the toilet, we're nearly there. So next up, connect the drain into there so the sink drains into the Saniflo as well. So we've now got hot and cold on the outside taps, working in the sink, which we pull the drain out, obviously goes down the pipe into the Saniflo unit, and then when that gets to a certain level, pumps out like that. To solve the flush problem, we just adjusted the height of this, get the water level a little bit higher. But for some reason it still needs a bit of a double pump pull thing. So pump. I'll go with that though, that works. For those of you that remember, obviously this is the doorway in. The pipe is here for the drain. That's as far as I've connected up before. This needs to connect up to that manhole there, which isn't finished off. So that needs digging up across here. This is the next job. Connect that in so we can send that down the septic tank. Well, as you can see, when we flush the toilet, it works like this. Okay, let's get some tiles down. Now, don't worry, I have no idea what I'm doing. After everything I've done so far, I'm just having a go. That's what I do. There's probably someone out there tiling, laughing at what I'm doing right now, right? Thinking he knows nothing, and that is because I don't. But never be scared to have a go at stuff. That's my motto. Obviously, when I read the comments, I realise where I went wrong. Pull this along like that, which sort of gets the right thickness, I think. Now, I did want a thicker bed than this, but this is the only one they had. And I'm quite glad, because I'm already using way more tile adhesives than it says I needed to use, so I don't know how people use that minuscule amount that it says. I know I should have started at the back corner of the room, not this edge here, but the reasoning behind that is, why did I do that, Dave? Because I had to do the toilet first, because Heath was fitting all that plumbing, and he's finished now, because I've had him for like nearly a year, and he's got stuff to do that's been mounting up, so thanks for your efforts, Heath. So as you can see, I've got the tiles down up to the last row now. The last row all need trimming, obviously make a bit more work, but it has been pretty good really. I said I only had to cut a tile every other row, which was all right. The gaps are slightly bigger than I wanted them to make it work, but it is all right. Oh, why did I weld these things on? Hopefully we'll be able to break it off if I just do this weld. Easy. So I've cut them all now. We've just got to get them back up and put adhesive underneath. That's all the tiles down, look at all them. The room is about finished. So I've got to let them go off, clean all the excess adhesive off, and then do a bit of grouting here. Now, I don't think this is the best idea I've ever had, but let's try and get this snap-on toolbox down these stairs. I'm not sure whether this is a good idea. Even with no drawers in, this is heavy. What do you think, Oliver?
Good.
I can't get around the corner now. Definitely one of them jobs you don't want to do on your own. So we're finally in the position where we can fit the top step. I've just temporarily put it in place. I didn't film it because it's quite a big job to mould that round, as you can imagine. I didn't really want to drop it. So these bits are loose at the end. We need to glue them in place to suit the door frame. Take it back out, trim a bit more for the bottom of there, and then we've got to bond this in. And it's quite cool having a date on there. I like to stamp some of my stuff. I've got a shed out there I built in 2015. So I just mixed some same stuff I used to fasten the tiles down on the floor, put it at the back, squidged it in by pushing it in. Well, as at the quarry, they gave me this as a sample to see whether I wanted to use it for floor tiles. It's actually got some pads on the bottom. It's out the shop, this is. It's like a chopping plate. But I feel that cut down will work really well as like a backing plate there. So let's trim that and glue that on as well. Up, round, in. So this is how the floor looks now. It needs a bit more of a clean, but as you can see, it's looking pretty good. It's all done in the cupboard. It's all done up to the tunnel. And I've started painting the roof in here. I want to get this finished, but we'll run out of time on this video. But anyway, toilet's working. Big thank you to Saniflo for supplying the toilet pump system. A lot of people didn't understand how I was going to do this, how I was going to get the waste out of it, but obviously that's how it works. The water goes into the tank, it minces up any solids, sends up the small diameter pipe work back into the 4-inch drain pipe, which goes either down the sewer or into your septic tank in my case. Let's just have a quick look at the step of how she's looking. I think that looks absolutely spot on. Thank you very much for Honister for supplying the slate for showing me how it's mined, for giving me free reign of doing what I want at the quarry, and you seeing all the tools, machinery. Awesome, great for the channel, I feel. If you do want to go there, they are great people. I'm not paid to say this. They are just I really enjoy it there. We have been back to Honister since we filmed the actual first day there. So I went there with Ian and his family, and basically my wife and Ian's wife went on the drop, as you can see here. Ian did the Infinity Bridge. Ian, you all right?
It's a bit wobbly.
Don't look down.
It's a bit high.
I don't really like my height, so there wasn't much chance of me going on all that lot. So I just did the indoor climbing there. So this is Via Ferrata, doing a bit of climbing. That's my cupboard I've just got that needs to be fitted around that and painted army green. That's another job to do. And we need to do the 2 doors. I want matching doors, but like blast doors with linkages, chains and everything like that. Now that's probably the next video. As I promised at the start of this video, I think we need to go for a tour down the well because it's dry. It's not been dry the whole time I've run this channel. Let's get down the tunnel, get down the well. I've also gained loads of subscribers recently, which I'm really thankful about. And obviously I want to say again, but when we're at 250,000 subscribers, if we ever get there, the tunnel, and a new tunnel will be going out of this corner somehow, out of this bunker, which gets into the shed, which is 40 foot away in the garden. But I want to build a proper boring machine in here that does all that. So, but I can't do that with a small channel because it costs a lot of money. So I need a bigger channel. You know how that's going to happen, and we'll dig another tunnel out there, 40 foot, and then the idea is in the shed out there, it's got an upstairs in there, so I'll put a pole which you can go from the upstairs through the shed and down underground. So that'll be a bit of a cool entrance, I think, and maybe a bigger tunnel which you could sit up in on a proper train, like a mine train. That tunnel will be started at the 250,000 subscriber point. So obviously don't forget, do click that subscribe button if you really want to follow this sort of channel. If you don't want to follow this sort of channel, don't bother, because it don't really help me. Oh, it's cold down here. Obviously look, we're right up there to right down here, and this, I think we are completely dry, look. This is all the debris I've lost over the time. I've not been down here yet. Oh, we've dropped some stuff, haven't we? I'm sure I had that fitting under here, didn't I? Well, what's that there? Somewhere under here was that pipe fitting. Where's that gone? God, I didn't bother swimming down for it. I can't even find it now, it's empty. Got some beer up. It's been in the wall a long time. So on the next video, I feel that I ought to dig out down here. But obviously, if you look here, these bricks here, they're all falling over here. Oh, that's sticking right out, that's sticking out. So it seems to be that this wall here is pushing in a bit. You can see this brick leaning over, all that lot. So maybe we ought to take some of the bricks out and see what the ground's like on the outside of this while we're dry. Also, we need to paint all the staircase. That's a job that needs doing now. But I need to dig all this rubble out, so we need to work out a way of getting buckets to go up there. Ideas in the comments, please, because I don't know. Without removing steps, I don't really know how I'm going to do it, but there's quite a few buckets full of stuff down here to take out, isn't there? So I think we'll leave this video here. Thanks for Jackery for sponsoring it. Thanks for Honister for letting me go there and get my slate. Thanks to Saniflo for supplying the toilet pump, which was supplied at the start of this year, and they've waited very patiently for me to fit it. Yeah, next video, we'll be back down the well. We'll be doing doors probably. Yeah, see you on the next one. Thank you, bye-bye.